common diseases: mumps, measles, encephalitis, and filariasis. Another common disease observed in children in the age group of 5 to 15 years is mumps. A virus called Myxovirus parotitis, RNA, causes mumps. The source of infection is a person infected with mumps. The disease spreads mainly by the droplet method of transmission or by direct contact with an infected person. The incubation period varies from 2 to 3 weeks. Persons affected with mumps suffer from pain in the salivary glands, mostly the parotid glands. They also suffer from pain while opening the mouth, earache, and fever. The virus may also affect the pancreas and kidneys. There is no specific treatment available for mumps. However, vaccination against mumps can prevent its occurrence. Keeping the patient isolated till the symptoms subside and disinfecting the articles used by the patient reduces the spread of the disease. Another common disease found in our country is measles, also known as rubella. The word rubella means red spots. A Persian physician, Muhammad ibn Zakaria al-Razi, gave the earliest description of measles. A virus called paramyxovirus, RNA, causes this disease. Measles is the major cause for sickness and even death of children in India. The nasal discharge and the saliva of the person affected with measles contain the virus. Thus, the infection takes place by droplet infection. There is no carrier for this disease. Children in the age group of 6 months to 3 years are mostly affected by this virus. The virus gets ready for infection approximately 4 to 5 days after the appearance of the rash. The incubation period is 10 days before the fever surfaces and 12 to 14 days before the rash develops. The first symptoms are a sick feeling, fever, sneezing, running nose, cough, and redness of eyes. This is followed by the appearance of the rash. The rash appears behind the ears and slowly spreads all over the body. After 3 to 4 days, the rash and fever disappear, indicating the termination of the disease. In some cases, effects of the infection may persist for longer durations. There might be a reduction in growth, mental deterioration, and even paralysis. Vaccination against measles reduces the incidence of the disease. The patient needs to be kept in isolation for 1 week from the time the rash appears in order to reduce the spread of the disease. Encephalitis is a mosquito-borne disease which is caused by a group of viruses known as arboviruses, that is, viruses transmitted by arthropods. 25 years ago, this disease was seen only in the East Asian countries like Japan, China, and Korea. It has now spread to all the South Asian countries like Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, India, and Sri Lanka. The virus affects several animals and birds in addition to human beings. Pigs, cattle, poultry, and other birds are the major vertebrate hosts for this virus. The infected animals do not show any signs of illness, but act as reservoirs, while mosquitoes act as the carriers. The virus mostly spreads from one animal to another, or from animal to man through the Culex mosquitoes. However, these viruses do not spread between humans. incubation period for the disease is 5 to 15 days. The disease starts with mild fever and headache, leading to high fever and convulsions or fits. The central nervous system is affected, which may lead to coma and death. There is no specific cure for this disease. Reducing the population of pigs and mosquitoes and the use of mosquito nets are some of the effective methods to control the spread of the disease. Filariasis is another common disease seen all over the world, affecting about 90 million people. Next to malaria, filariasis is a major health problem in India. The disease is common in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Gujarat. Two nematode worms called Wuchereria bancrofti and Brugia malayi cause filariasis. The adult worm lives in the lymph glands and lymph vessels of a man. The male worm is about 4 centimeters long and the female worm is between 5 to 10 centimeters long. The female is viviparous, that is, gives birth to around 50,000 young larvae per day, and the eggs develop inside the body of the female. The larvae, called microfilaria, move to blood vessels situated deep in the body during the daytime. During nights, the larvae come to the blood vessels in the superficial parts of the body. The movement of the larvae is meant to suit the visits of the mosquitoes. The larvae enter the mosquito when it bites an infected person. In the stomach of the mosquito, the larva loses its external sheath and undergoes 3 developmental stages to reach the final stage named third stage larva. The third stage larva migrates into proboscis of the mosquito and is ready for infection into a new host. Microfilaria larvae are released at the site. The larvae penetrate and reach the lymph vessels of the host. The incubation period is between 5 to 18 months. In the initial stages of infection, there is inflammation of the lymph glands and filarial fever. As the number of the worms increases, they block the lymph vessels and cause swelling of the glands and lymph vessels. Hence, the size of the tissue also increases enormously and is known as elephantiasis. This kind of swelling is usually seen on legs, arms and on other body parts. Diethylcarbamazine is the only drug used for treating filariasis. Mosquito control can also help to restrict the spread of this disease.